Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. In this video we are going to transform my old cupboard into this awesome table. We will use only a jigsaw to do this, so let's get started. So here you can see that I have my old cupboard, and you can see that it's quite in a crowded area, and I have another cupboard which is the brown one on the side. I will remove that too, but I'm not sure what I will do with it. For now my concern is the big one, and I will take it apart and see what we can come up with. So here you can see that I don't really have a lot of clothes, and this cupboard is actually taking a lot of space. So the idea was to just transform this into another table so that I have more working space and I can work on more projects. So the initial step was to tear it apart. I took the doors step by step, and you can see that the structure itself is not very strong, but it still holds up. So once all the parts were taken out, I separated them based on their size and then started thinking of different designs. But the first thing I had to do was label it and then get the sizing of it. And it's always good to have a little bit of help, both figuratively and literally. You can see my niece is very excited about the project as well. So once I had the dimensions, the next step was to design it in a CAD software. So here you can see the design. Now the top part is basically one of the doors, it is the biggest one, and then we have the small doors are basically these yellow parts, and then you can see that we have the green part over here and we have another green part over here. Now these were the sides of your of the cupboard, and then we have these blue parts which were the top and the bottom plate of our cupboard. So all of these dimensions are based on the cupboard itself. So based on the limitations, I have designed this table so that we are able to get everything without adding more material. So once the design was done, it was now time to cut the plates. So my father actually helped me a lot in this, so hats off to him. Now here we are only using a jigsaw to actually cut all these pieces. Now you can use a circular saw as well, which will give you better accuracy, but in our case we did not have the circular saw, so we used the jigsaw. And the cuts were not so bad for a DIY project without a woodworking shop. So as you can see, the cuts are done over here, and you can see that they align, almost aligned. And we have some other parts. These are the inner plates. So once we had all the parts cut, we started the drilling process. Now this took a while because there were so many holes to be drilled, and after before we drilled any hole, we had to add a little bit of room for the head of the screw as well, because it had to be flush with the plate. So it's always good to hammer the screws before you actually drill them in so that they don't go out of place. And once you have done all of these, you can simply screw all of the screws in one go. So once the screws were in, you could see the table taking shape, and even though we had only the side panels, the table was looking good. Now here you can see that we do have a slag. It's a little bit of bend, but as we started putting the support structures in between, the slag or the bend started to go away as it was getting all the support it needed. So from there onwards, we just kept screwing the inner plates, and the idea was that we flipped the places of the plates so that it's easier to drill, and it gives a little bit of a futuristic look or a new design look as well. So the last step was to add the LED lights so that we have that glow at the back of our table. So the idea was to tape it first, and then wherever we have the tape, just add some hot glue, and then you have to hold it for a while so that it settles down. So once that was done, the table was complete and it was looking pretty awesome. The only thing that looks a little bit odd is the holes at the sides. This is because of a few mistakes, and some of them were already there. So overall it turned out to be a good project, and I would say it was a success. Now, given that I'm not actually a woodworker, I would say that I have not used the best practices, but still it came out to be good enough for my purposes. So I'm very excited to use this table for different projects and creating awesome videos. So hopefully this will turn out to be a good investment in terms of time. And by the way, it took about 1 day from start till the end to complete this whole project, and I'm quite happy with the result. So this is it for today's video. I hope you have learned something new. If you like the table, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next one.